This week on Our World with Black Enterprise, one of the original kings of comedy, Cedric the Entertainer, speaks out about show business and the challenges of finding quality roles in Hollywood. Plus, are black women redefining their roles in society? That's our roundtable. And one international supermodel uses her fame to help children in the Sudan and New York. She's our slice of life. He's considered one of the funniest men in Hollywood. Cedric the Entertainer has headlined sold-out comedy tours, starred in his own network comedy specials, and has been featured in films including Barbershop and Talk to Me. In spite of all of this, he told me success isn't always easy for black entertainers. Recently, I caught up with him at the Black Enterprise Golf and Tennis Challenge, where we talked about the pressures and pleasures of working in Hollywood.
Can I get some of that?
Said good to talk to you as always, man.
Good. What's going on, brother?
You know, same old, same old.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, man. When you think back on what you wanted for your career, the success that you've seen, we're here at Doral, would you have ever dreamed that you'd see something like this through your career?
You know, I guess whenever you start, especially something that is independently a stand-up comedy, it's such a subjective kind of thing. I mean, I felt good. You know, my career kind of jumped off, you know, even locally it jumped off fast. And it's one of those things you don't necessarily know how you're going to get to it. You just hope it happens.
Let me ask you, many people talk about you being a comic that's relatable. You know, you're everyday man comic, that kind of thing. Your life, though, is no longer everyday. What do you do to make sure that you can still relate?
You know, I try to keep it simple as, you know, as the man, like as the family man, you know, being involved in my kids' life, dropping them off at school, getting them dressed in the morning. You know, the kids just got a little dog, so I got to clean up some dog poop. I tell you, I flew Southwest Airlines the other day. That don't bring you regular. That keep you regular, especially when you in Group C.
Right. Middle seat.
Yeah, you in the middle seat. They're like, ain't you saying entertainment? You like, yep. Can I get a little of that armrest?
Let me ask you this, Seb. One of the interesting things, and you mentioned it, is your life doesn't change in the sense of having to deal with the kids, having to clean up after the dog, but once you've reached a certain level of fame and fortune, people assume that your life changes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing, like when you say, you know, keeping friends or people from the past, it's usually is their perception of you that changes. You know, you lose a lot of good friends, and it's because they change the way they look at a person that I've been knowing you for years, but you put me in a box, and I never put you in a box, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
you went from my hat to your water. I saw him on your water, but I ain't say nothing. I like, maybe the bug thirsty.
Let me try this. When you think now that you've been in the game a while, and just as I suspect you aspire to be like Pryor, to be like Red Fox, to be like those that came before you, what is it for you now to have young comics say, I grew up listening to you, looking at you, emulating you?
That's a good feeling. I mean, you know, other than feeling old, because he like, well, you know, boy, my mama loves you. He be like, dude, I'm relevant. What are you talking about? Like, that motivates you to keep grinding, because a lot of times this business is not as glamorous as it appears. I mean, it is you know, it's a show, and then it's the business part, and the business part is dictated by so many obstacles, especially from the African American point of view. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that's not available. You think of all the money that was spent to do Transformers and Harry Potter and Spider-Man 3 and Pirates of the Caribbean, and not one brother got a big movie. It's like the ratio is so imbalanced that it's not even fair. That's the part that's disappointing about this business, and television is the same way.
When you go for a role, there's obviously the Cedric role that people see for you. What's the role that you don't think people see for you that you want?
I'm definitely looking at more dramatic roles right now, like trying to develop this story on Marcus Garvey. Like I think that, you know, I want to do something that, you know, I think that physically I can pull that off. You think in 1920, 1922, this dude had
he was cold.
People organized on 7 continents. It's nobody done that since.
What's been the most fun for you in your career in terms of a time when you look back?
Oh, the Kings of Comedy, without a doubt.
No question.
Oh man, the Kings of Comedy was rock and roll comedy. I mean, we was Aerosmith out there. We was the Stones. I mean, literally, we showing up on, you know, private jets. We landing in town. Is girls there? I wasn't even married at the time, so you know, let me get that on tape. And for all the girls I've loved before.
Before we get to the latest projects and then let you get on the green, I want to ask you this. N-word, debated all the time, whether we should eradicate it. The NAACP, quote, buried it. Where do you stand on that?
You know, it's a word that, for me, it's taken on, it has a certain degree of acceptance in our culture. But that's one of those words that, you know, I've used it. I'm not, you know, I'm not ashamed that I've used it, but I definitely try not to use it if I don't have to. So,
what's up? I mean, I've been reading a whole lot about what's at least on the stove for you. So talk to me about what's real and what may be real.
I finished 2 films. We did The Better Man with Martin Lawrence, Monique, Michael Clark Duncan, Mike Epps, and we're this dysfunctional family that's getting back together. It's funny, fun movie. Just finished the LA crime drama called The Night Watchman with Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Commons in the movie. And then I have a big deal at ABC, developing a family sitcom. Got film over at the new Bob Johnson, Tracy Edmonds company, Our Stories.
Well, Ced, always good to see you, man.
Definitely, brother.
Appreciate it. All right, go get them straight, Dave.
All right. Gotta go get them. At least hit one. Can I keep my makeup on? All right, good. I'm gonna look pretty out there.
I am actually Tiger's daddy's brother.
Yeah.
I'm Ernie Woods.
And I'm Tiger's mama's brother. The little Asian lady. We got the same daddy.
My thanks to the always funny Cedric the Entertainer for being so candid in that interview. All right, we're going to take a break. When we return, can black women really have it all? We'll tackle that question after this.
Our headliner has been brought to you by Chevy, an American Revolution.